Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the test account and we're going to be looking at Kregor, but before we get into it, we want to also take a look at the Dragon Isles. Now overall, similar to what we see right here with our Beast Ground, you can see we have our Beast right here. We do have a copy right here or a picture of Kregor that has shown up within the Dragon Isles. So when we hop in here, it gives us the ability, you can see he is in the Dragon Paragon or Paragoda. And going in here gives us the ability right here as a limited summoning rewards. Summon at the Wormcrest Spire 30 times is going to yield us some additional Draconic scrolls, which means it's going to be a lot cheaper. Now you'll also notice 60 times in here is going to give you a copy of that hero. Another 30 times, of course, is going to give you more scrolls. So you're getting a pretty decent rebate over here. And of course, right here, the rare Draconis cards. Now, overall, when you think of Gorgie, when you think of the food we have in here, we don't have the ability, and we have not had the ability to actually get enough copies of heroes to be able to get them all built. Now, at this point, we do have 5. We'll hop in here, we'll do a couple summons, but you can notice there are 1, 2, 3 copies of him. No, 4 copies of him. So that is going to take him, of course, 2 copies are going to take him to Elite Plus. Those other 2 will take him to Legendary. So if you summon 300 times, that is going to take him to Legendary. Question is, and I'm not up for doing math because I've been doing it all day long, popping up our little calendar here is if you got 300 summons and it's 5,000 diamonds each, you're talking 1.5 million summons? Wait a minute. That can't be right at all. I think that's a little bit off because, of course, it's going to be every 10 summons is 5,000 diamonds. So we're going to have to do the multiplication factor in there because, again, like I said, my math is completely off. So if we do 3,300 divided by our 10 gives us 30 times 5,000 each, 150,000 diamonds, which is kind of crazy to get those 300 summons. Now, you also notice that this is a limited summoning reward, which means we only have 30 days to get this out of here. So it's going to be pretty quick. But like I said before with the wish list, is we have the ability now to get all of these heroes in their entirety. And a lot of players were saying that if we put them all in here, they all have the 20% chance. We have proven before, and again, looking at Reddit, looking at Discord, that putting only 1 hero in here does make a big difference when it comes to summoning it. And I want to do our 5 summons in here and see if just putting him in does make a difference, and seeing if we can pull right there's 29 days on the summons. Let's see what we can do with the diamonds we have in here. Again, this is test server. Global, we will summon them up in their entirety. So first one gives us just copies of Gorgie. Second one looks like it is going to be a copy, and it is a copy of Emelion. Third, nothing in there. So for most players, in just thinking of the sheer cost of this, so we got 2 copies, and there he is. Guys, you talk about a hero that looks awesome. Don't know exactly how he's going to work. We're going to check him out in the test trials, but overall, visually, he looks awesome in here. I love how he looks. So there we go. So we did get some rewards in there, which of course gave us some rewards out of here to continue the summons, which again, I think it's pretty cool that we have the ability to at least get something. I wish they would have backdated it for the heroes that we've already seen that we didn't have the ability to actually get a couple copies of. So there is the second copy. But overall, I mean, 150,000 diamonds, you get 4 free copies of them. Not even in addition to what you do pull. We do have some emblems in here. I like the update. I think this is pretty cool to see. I think this is really going to be a step in the right direction. Do I think this is a correct all, fix all, be all? No, but it is definitely a step in the right direction to being able to build these heroes. But again, at the cost of 150,000 diamonds, that's a pretty big price tag to get all of the free copies out of here of the hero in the entirety, and also doing 300 summons. Now, of course, Draconic heroes, this is another one with the Highborn. We're going to have to deal with this. I don't know what their chances are here. Now, the issue that I see, though, is if we're using our diamonds in to get the Draconic heroes, which again, a lot of players, especially new players, I do not advise doing at all. It means you don't have the ability to come in here and do the summons in here for the Celestials and the Hypos because you don't have the diamonds that it requires to get them and build them out. In addition, if you're buying stuff out of the store, especially the time emblems, you're not going to have the ability, or you might lose out on some without having the ability to actually use your diamonds in different parts of AFK Arena, meaning you might miss some of the, essentially the rewards that we do offer. But let's hop in, let's have a look at this hero. course, Lost Spire is up. We've seen it up on Global. And here is the Trio Hero, the Bountiful Trials. Now, the question is, as a tank, so we know he's a tank, we know he's a buffer. I don't feel like he's going to be quite as defensive as we've seen with like an Aethys, but I'm hoping he's not just as squishy as we've seen with Antandra and Lucius. Let's go ahead and see. So let's take it to 360, which I believe is pretty on par. We'll remove everyone out of here. I want to clean this out because, again, he is a tank. I want to put him in these formations. I want to see what the tank can do and what the damage looks like with some of these formations. Now, again, equal level, going to make a big difference. Now, the field is in the back. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. So he's locked right in the back. Again, not taking a ton of damage, but we know with Oden, he cannot ult. But look at the heal. So does have a pretty decent heal there. And again, Dragon Speak damage, doing a little bit of damage. They didn't take him down. 49, so almost 10 million healed in there, but almost 40 million in damage. Let's run through a couple of these. And this is just kind of testing out the survivability that he does have. Now, of course, he is staying in the back row because he's the only one here. What it looks like if he comes on the enemy side, I don't know, because he's going to be out of essentially this area that he's at. But you can see, again, not taking a lot of damage, working through him kind of one at a time. And there we go. So he does have that stun ability in there. So pretty cool. Overall, again, 80 million. Didn't do any healing on this one. So that's a pretty interesting factor. When the first one, he did quite a bit of healing. Second one, we had none. So this one, oh, I was hoping Iran would pull him over. There we go. So he's out of the Dragon Quake. But even there, he's got a pretty strong shield in there. Rushes right over with that dash. Takes the final target out, and there we go. So no healing in there. I wonder, might have been something that was going on with some of the heroes in that first one that he was able to heal. There we go. So that cleared off the shields. Falks took his shield away, which means, of course, a little bit of damage, a little bit more damage. You can also see that he is doing a lot of AoE damage to the rest of the heroes. So he does have that AoE effect in there, 54. Let's boost this up a little bit and see, again, just survivability-wise, let's go another, let's say 50 levels, 410. Let's see what this looks like. This one's tough because Oden is in here. And look at the crowd control. Guys, I am pretty impressed. Thinking PvP aspect, you can see the crowd control aspect in here. See, he went down on that one. 35 C20. I think he has to get to a certain HP before he heals. That's what I'm wondering, is if it's going to trigger the heal. Now, of course, there's the crowd control. Look at that. So all three of those, or all four. Torn was in there as well. So all four of those heroes were crowd controlled outside of here. And there we go. So he's to a certain level. He does have that buff up on himself. And I think he's going to go down in this one. See, he does have that heal. And that might be when he takes fatal damage. I'm trying to think. So it might be the heal when he does take fatal damage in there. But I mean, he's getting him down. I know it's slow, but again, he is a tank. There's the healing reduction. Look at the crowd control outside of that Dragon Quake. Even there, he took Tassie down. Wow, he got that down, the whole team. 117 million damage. So between the shielding that he had, that's kind of crazy. Between the shielding that he had, the little bit of healing that he did, pretty decent tank. I mean, think about putting some buffers, some mitigation behind there. I love how he drops out of the sky. I mean, doing a pretty good job right there with that Dragon Quake damage. Or the Dragon Speak damage. See, there's the crowd control. Wow, that is pretty cool. Again, tank-wise, it's kind of hard to gauge exactly where he is based on the heroes we have here, but I do love that crowd control aspect that he has. Then, of course, the ability right there. That's when he marks. Now, remember, he can only mark one target at a time. You can see that that is just the one single target that he has marked up. Once he kills the target, though, goes right back and he marks another target. That was, I believe, the second ability. Let me look at his skills. That is this ability. So Terrifying Tremor. So he's branding the enemies on the battlefield. Basic applies the brand. One brand, which we know as we've seen. One on the battlefield. So takes damage. Unbranded heroes receive 20% of the damage as health loss. So again, that is where he is doing that damage. When he brands one hero, the other 4 are unbranded, which means that they're getting that. So after the Dragon Wake enchantment ends, all enemies receive 20% of the damage taken by the branded enemy during Dragon Quake zone. So it seems like this is going to be a pretty good way to transmute some of the damage, because if you have, and I'm wondering if you have 2 or 3 targets with one target taking damage, I'm almost wondering, let's put in some more of the Draconic heroes. And we know, of course, there's a tank. We got a buffer out of here. Let's do some damage mitigation, and then we'll go for Gwen. Even looking level-wise, I feel like we have to buff this up a little bit. But, of course, this is going to keep the entire back line in that Dragon Quake. And I'm kind of wondering, even there, 37, let's go ahead and up these levels a little bit just to kind of see. And I'm almost wondering at what point is a Draconic formation or Draconic tower gonna work in here. Again, I love how he just drops out of the sky. The enemy is branded and goes down pretty quick. 62 million in there from Hilduin. Now, of course, Gwen has to scale a little bit. We have to get a little bit more of that damage factor up, especially the ultimate ability that we have with Gwen. We're going up 50 levels at a time again, thinking of spreading that damage to all of these heroes. Wow. Yeah, Hilduin's putting up some pretty big numbers in there. Let's go up another 50. So this is what? 200 level deficiency. All right, so we got the shielding in there. Now, also remember that Kregor has his own shielding as well. 207, 195. But again, it seems like they're not taking a lot of damage in these formations. I wonder even like the Leica delay and a couple other of these meta formations that could keep heroes in the back line. Yeah, I mean, look at the damage. Wow. Let's go 710. We'll go up another 100 levels. That's pretty interesting, that the dynamic of all of these heroes together. Now we're going to get to a point where they just get run over. There we go. So land went down. Yeah, so that was a little bit much. But again, he stays back in that Dragon Quake. 141. Yeah, so we know about... yeah, I mean, you're talking really high level deficiencies in here. For a majority of game modes, they're at the same or very, very similar level deficiencies. Let's drop it down to our 650, 660. So that's 300. Again, guys, just drops out of the sky. A little bit more support out of there. Wow. That is pretty cool. 1.73 billion damage. I mean, he's got a little bit of survivability. Again, thinking of the crowd control aspect for heroes that are outside of the Dragon Quake zone. So if we pull or push everyone to this back, they're all going to get crowd controlled, which is kind of crazy to think. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.